Today's episode is brought to you by Seltzer Mayberg, our newest sponsor, the attorneys at Seltzer Mayberg. You can find them at onecalllegal.com. That's 1-855-5000-LAW, L-A-W, 1-855-5000-LAW. They handle cases including, but not limited to, car accidents, slip and falls, and traffic tickets, with a new 15,000 square foot office on I-95 in North Miami. We work out of that office, actually, and they'll handle cases from all over the state. Call now with 24/7 service for a free consultation. That's onecalllegal.com, 1-855-5000-LAW. Welcome to the latest episode of the 5 Reasons podcast. I'm out at Dolphins camp today and getting a chance to talk to Davon Godchaux. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes, sir. You sure did.
Oh, my God. I never pronounce anything
Davon
correctly.
Godchaux.
Davon Godchaux. All right, so we got that right. And you can't see him right now, but basically just came into the media room sweating from practice. So I guess all day. So before we get into some of the things you're doing in the community and some of your goals kind of on the field, just how has it been sort of being back on the field, the past couple of weeks, and sort of where are you kind of physically and mentally as you go into your next season?
I feel great. It's been great out there with Coach Flores, Coach Hobb, Coach PG, my DC. It's been great just getting after it each and every day in a new scheme that we got going on, learning each and every day new techniques, new fundamentals, things like that. It's been great getting out there with those guys.
Is it kind of like going back to school where you kind of got a new teacher and you're sort of figuring things out?
Yeah, 100%. You're trying to figure things out, but at the end of the day, it's football.
Right.
You just get down, line up and play football. Whether you read it or whether you attack, it's football. So, all you got to do is, with the fundamentals they're teaching, just apply those same things to the field. How
did you spend your off season? What did you get a chance to do?
Mostly spend with my kid and probably travel a little bit. Not really doing much, but just training at Peep. I'm a reader right across the street. That's what I train at.
So travel. Are you someone who likes to travel? You like to get out?
I went to Atlanta for the Super Bowl. You call that travel. I went to Atlanta for the Super Bowl. Of course, I'm in Miami, the best city you can be in. I'm in Miami. But, other than that, probably go to the Bahamas or something like that. But, just things like that. Most importantly, I'm down here in Miami training.
Is there one place you've always wanted to go to?
Yeah, I want to go to this off season before we come back. I'm gonna go to Cabo.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to Cabo. I never been. I heard about it. It's pretty beautiful out there, so I go out there.
It's a pretty good place to be. Yeah. Let's get into some, because we're going to talk some football, but I want to get into some of the community stuff with you and some of the things you've been doing. I know you're real active with the team, and Tuesday activities and other things that they go out and do, but you've got some things on your own. So what have been your priorities? What do you enjoy about it? What are some of the stories and the things that have touched you so far?
First of all, I think it's really important to be, great off the field. Just being more than an athlete. Me doing things, whether that's, child community work, things with Microsoft, teamed up with Microsoft. We did 3 weeks of, doing things with the kids, whether that's childhood obesity, learning how to play video games, setting up things in the community where they can give back to homeless people, just things like that. I got a thing going back home, a Christmas giveaway back home last year where I gave away book sacks, and I spread around book sacks and jackets for the kids who made the honor roll principal list. This year for Christmas, we're doing something with a bowling alley with
OJ McDuffie.
OJ
well,
McDuffie.
I'm going to stop you there. OJ is actually one of the hosts in our network, our podcast network. He hosts a podcast for us.
We got something going on at the bowling alley where we're giving away, for the Charter Foundation, giving away bicycles and stuff for the kids for Christmas. Just got a whole lot of stuff going on. Last year I gave away 150 turkeys in Liberty City to the people out there who needed Thanksgiving food. Just got a whole lot of stuff going on with Charter Foundation. I have my camp back home. Next year, I told my guy I'll do a camp in Miami too, like right around about Super Bowl time, things like that. You just got a whole lot of stuff doing and being active in the community.
You don't want to bowl against OJ. I'm just telling you, because when he doesn't get three,
I heard he's pretty good.
He's pretty good. He doesn't get 300. He's pretty pissed about it. Let's drill down on a couple of things you were talking about. So you mentioned Microsoft at the very beginning. So how does that relationship come about, and what are they providing for you specifically? I know you touched on some of it, but how did that all come together?
It's coming about good. They want to donate something to my foundation, so they donated $5,000 to my foundation. But at the end of the day, it's all about getting there, talking to the kids. I think when you have an NFL player, somebody who has a platform, and you always get a chance to talk in front. Kids, growing up who doesn't have it, but who always want to, make it to that next level. I think having a guy like me or anybody else like a LeBron James, like Kevin Durant, you can have those guys, give back to the community and inspire those kids that they can do it too. I think once those kids hear things like that, it's always give somebody motivation. Because I know me, growing up when I had somebody talk to me who went to like just like not even NFL player, just somebody who went to LSU, and they came to my school as I was in elementary, and they talked to me. I was like, man, I want to be like that guy. I want to be better than that guy one day. Just things like that. You always get those kids motivation because at the end of the day, some kids all they need is a little love.
Is there one of those athletes who came back from LSU that you remember more than any, or one lesson that they told you?
If I'm not mistaken, his name was Michael Johnson. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know if he played LSU, but I know he was a big guy. And he came to elementary school and he talked, and like everybody, all the women, like, hey, that's him. He in college. You do this, you do that. And I was like, man, when I grow up, I'm gonna be like that guy right there. Like I'm gonna be like, I want to be something like that guy. I want to be successful in life.
Well, see, that's the thing too. It doesn't even have to be the biggest. Like you mentioned LeBron or Durant, and I've been to a lot of events with LeBron over the years because I covered the Heat, and obviously he's gonna have an impact. But I mean, if you're a professional athlete, they're gonna relate to you.
I feel like why not? I mean, like why wouldn't you? Like. People always talk about giving back. Like giving back is not all about giving money. Sometimes you just want your time. Like you just go to a 30-minute, a 30-minute event. It's not all about giving money. What people think giving back is all about. You got to give money. You got to do this. Like that helps. But I mean, most important is your time. Spending time with kids. Kids will never forget that. You'll never forget. Kids from Microsoft will never forget that day they got a chance to sit in there for an hour and talk to Davon Godchaux and went over things. Like you'll never forget that. Like they're always gonna run back in your mind somehow, somewhat. So you'll never forget things like that. And just doing things in the community. I mean that's big. Being more, like LeBron said, being more than an athlete. That's big. Like use your platform to do things in the community.
What's the number one lesson? You're talking to a child who wants to be an athlete, maybe doesn't want to be an athlete, or maybe she doesn't want to be an athlete, but just getting involved. What is the number one thing that you tell them?
I tell them all the time, everybody's not going to be a football player. Let's get that first and foremost. Everybody's not going to be a basketball player, a baseball player. Whatever you want to be, you can be. But I'm just saying, like, yo, don't set yourself up for one situation. Always have a plan B. Like, maybe if you don't play football, you might be a doctor, you might be a lawyer, Don't set yourself up to do one thing. You might be an engineer. All those people make good money, though. That's still good money, That's still something successful. Like I told my mentor the other day, like just because I got a couple of homies back home who didn't play in the NFL, but they went to college, like, and they graduated. Like that don't mean like they are a failure because they wanted to play football in the NFL and it did. Like that don't mean they didn't make it out the hood. Like they still made it. Like just because you don't play the NFL, that doesn't mean that you didn't make it. Like I mean, you still made it in my eyes. You got a college degree. What
was your plan B? Did you have one?
My plan B, I ain't even gonna lie. I mean, at that point, I was all sold into football, and if I probably made it football, I mean, I really don't know. That's a good question. That's a good question. I mean, I went to LSU, or got my degree. I didn't get my degree from LSU. I have like 38 credits left. I didn't get my degree, but I'm pretty sure it probably been somewhere going back to LSU organization, being the coach there at LSU.
So, but you got hurt too. You had an injury.
I hurt my senior high school. ACL, LCL.
Did that make you feel differently about it? Because I mean, did you have any doubt? Like, am I going to be the same guy I was?
I never had any doubt. I was just asking God, like, why me? Like, like first game of the season, first series of the season, like I'm running down the field, got pushed in the back, hyperextended my knee, ACL, LCL, off for the whole season. 30 scholarship offers. LSU was always my top school. So once I got that knee injury, I started thinking like, I'm about to make that commitment. I think about that time to secure myself, and but it just wasn't because of that, but my knee injury played a big part. I always want to go to LSU. I'm 15, 20 minutes away from Baton Rouge Tiger Stadium, so I mean that's always like I'm going across the bridge, going to the mall or something in Baton Rouge, and I'm looking at LSU right on the bridge. I mean you can hear the noise like when like somebody scored a touchdown or defense get a sack or something. So it always was my dream school.
Did you? Will you ever hate a team in the NFL as much as you hate Alabama?
I don't hate Alabama. I don't hate dislike those guys. Those guys have a great program. Those guys send players out just like LSU. I mean, I don't hate those guys. Nick Saban, arguably one of the greatest college coach of all time. I know I don't dislike. I play with King and I play with Mika. So I don't hate those guys. Those guys just have a great program, and they beat us for the last 6 years. So I don't hate those guys. Hats off to those guys. But at the end of the day, I'm always will be a LSU Tiger for life.
We'll get back to our episode in a second. First, I want to tell you about one of our great long-term partners. That's Doral Toyota, and like us at 5 Reasons, they're pure South Florida. You can find all of your favorite Toyota models, whether you're looking for a new, used, or certified pre-owned vehicle. Doral Toyota is located at 9775 Northwest 12th Street. That's 9775 Northwest 12th Street, just a few blocks from International and Dolphin Malls. Experience the Doral difference, which means 4 years of complimentary maintenance and roadside assistance payments on all new vehicles, in-house financing available for credit-related issues. If you mention 5 Reasons when you call 305-680-1129, that's 305-680-1129, or come into the dealership, you work with a dedicated manager, not a salesperson. Unlike other dealers, Doral Toyota prides itself on an honest and transparent buying process. That's Doral Toyota, DoralToyota.com, or stop in at 9775 Northwest 12th Street. Vamos, let's go. Another great sponsor of the 5 Reasons Sports Network is ShipYourCarNow.com. That's ShipYourCarNow.com. These guys can move any car, any boat, any RV, any motorcycle, or any kind of equipment anywhere you need to move it worldwide. You have a business and you need to ship freight or machinery? Call them. College moves, new car, used car, buying the toy you've looked at for a while, make sure you call them. These guys can ship it all. Give them a call or visit ShipYourCarNow.com/5 Reasons. That's ShipYourCarNow.com/5 Reasons. Make sure to mention 5 Reasons on the phone if you call. There's no job too big or too small. Ship Your Car Now moves it all. Let's transition a little bit, because you mentioned a couple of guys on the team. You mentioned Minka. Obviously, this team's in transition right now. You got a new coaching staff, like you mentioned, new scheme, new philosophy, the way you guys do things. But also, there's going to be some opportunities for guys to take some leadership roles now, because some guys are gone, and you guys are obviously going younger and kind of building it that way. How do you see yourself fitting in that?
You make the leadership role by the way you practice, in my opinion. You know, if you go out there and practice hard and you dominate, you know, if you just take a leadership role by running to the ball or just, you know, being a great communicator, that's how, you know, guys are going to start respecting you. Guys are going to start leaning towards you. Hey, Godchaux, like, what's that play right there? Like, what we got? You know, to me, like, that's great leadership, like doing things like that. Because I'm not the type of guy who's going to get in somebody's face and yell at them and curse. I'm not that type of guy. I'm the guy who's going to lead by example, like do things on the field, whether that's making plays. I'm not a guy who's going to get in somebody's face and curse them out. Like, that's not me at all. I wasn't raised like that. And I don't plan on doing that, not because I got to the NFL. You know, I didn't do it at LSU, I didn't do it at Plaquemine High School. I'm not doing it now at the Miami Dolphins. So, I mean, I just do it by the way I do it on the field, whether that's running to the ball, making plays, things like that. You know, I like to get excited. I'm a very emotional player on the field. You know, I like to, like to get the crowd up. You know, that's just me. That's just what I do. But I'm not going to pretend to be somebody that I'm not.
How do you balance playing your position? How do you balance playing in the scheme and filling the role? And sometimes that means you're not going to make the play, but somebody else is going to make play, and trying to stand out and make a play.
I mean, if I'm a 2-eye, if I'm a shade, and I knock the center back, I knock the quarterback, Kiko Alonso, Baker make the play, I consider me making that play. That's my play. They made the play, but I made it. You know, I helped them made that play. You know, as a great teammate. Sometimes Baker might do something for me. Hakeem Spencer or Christian Wilkins might do something for me. Or Tanksley or Wood or somebody might set the edge. You know, and I make the play. You know, that's all guys playing 11. One thing I learned in football, you can't play as one. You know, if somebody's weak on the field, it's going to make all 10 look weak. You know, you have to be 11 strong. You have to. You know, this game of football, you're going to get exposed quick, especially on this level right here. Me playing in the SEC, I kind of saw that early, you know, but if you're not playing together, you know, you can get exposed quick. But, I mean, this is all about playing together, man. And you play together as one, and all 11 play together as one, you know, you got a chance to do something very special.
It's interesting because covering the NBA and the NFL, the one thing that's always different is in the NBA I was always told you're as good as your best player. In the NFL, I was always told you're as good as your weakest player.
Facts, 100%.
Right.
Like I just said, I mean, I definitely agree on that one. You know, you got to, you know, like I always say, like, you know, I mean, New England Patriots, you know, they always, you know, why they win all the time, because they play together. They play as one. You know, they force you to make a mistake, and you know they go capitalize off it. You know, that's why, in my opinion, that they always in the conversation every year to win the Super Bowl.
How do you blend the person? I know you said you have a certain personality. You're not going to be an in-your-face type person. But how does a young defense kind of blend personalities? Because I'm thinking of 2 guys in particular. You mentioned Minka, who has a certain approach to the way that he does things. And you have a guy like you mentioned, Christian Wilkins, who has a different approach based on what we've seen in college. That he's a little bit more so boisterous and out there and all that. You've been on really good defenses before, obviously, at LSU. When does you get a feel for kind of, okay, this is how this is developing with the different personalities of this group, and this is how this room is going to become a unit, essentially?
I mean, I was just out there today, and, you know, I was on side Christian, and we was running. We was about to do it like when our team plays, and I was like you know, like bring the life, give him a chest bump, like, hey, bring that energy, you know, like let's go. So kind of when you get in the groove, you know, like you here every day with each other. So I mean, you grinding together, you know, you eat together. So I mean, you have to, you know, in my opinion, like trust is the hardest thing to build. You know, to trust somebody. You know, so you have to build that trust. That I know that Christian Wilkins, he's in that 2-eye, he's going to stone that guard, and he's going to make that play. I trust him. He's going to be in this gap. he trusts Davon Godchaux is going to be in the 3 technique, and he's going to play the B gap the right way. He's going to knock the guard outside shoulder back, and he's going to be in the B gap when the ball comes that way. You have to build that trust. You have to build that communication. And I mean, just like you like say, Kristen in college, with a lot of energy. I love that because when you make a play, I'm coming. I'm a chest bump. I'm coming to see you with some energy. So I mean, and like offenses see that, like they get contagious. Like that's like that's really scary. Like they see us energized. Like that really scares offenses. So I mean, things like that, man, I love it. And like you say, like doing things like that with Kristen and Hakeem Spence, Vincent Taylor, like all of us, like I can't wait. I'm so excited for the season. You know, I think the sky's the limit for us. You know, no matter what nobody says, you know, the sky's the limit because we control each and everything we do.
Well, I was going to ask you about that. No matter what anybody says, and I always know dealing with athletes, they say they don't hear it, but they hear it. They know.
I really don't. I mean,
you don't pay any attention to it?
I mean, if Coach Flores addressed it in the team meeting room or something, you know, but I mean, he don't worry about that either. You know, he does a great job of being our head coach. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't hear it. I don't get on Twitter and type it up, and I don't worry about it. You know, I'm focused on the Miami Dolphins defensive line, the Miami Dolphins team, and you know, doing what we got to do to be successful.
You get recognized in the community yet? Sometimes it's tough when you got the helmet.
Right? I mean, it's very, like you say, it's very tough. But I mean, the guy right here, Lorenzo, you know, he does a great job. You know, like doing events, you know, like helping us, you know, get out there to events, you know, showing our face and things like that. So I mean, once we have a chance, once we have a break, and you know, he have an event, you know, that we, you know, he want us to attend something in the community. You know, if I'm free, you know, I'm there. You know, because I think it's very important for the community to know who you are.
Let me. I come back in 2025. Let's say you're still here. What do you want your career to look like?
2025. I mean, what it is?
6 years.
6 years. You know, guys say the same. Hopefully, have a, you know, most important, all about the team. Most importantly, have a Super Bowl. Have a couple Pro Bowls under my belt. I mean, I just want to be recognized as one of those guys. Like you know, I'm just going here later out there like a Calais Campbell. You know, I think you know, you talk to guys in Jacksonville. You know, he's the guy. You know, everybody wants to be like a great leader, team first guy. You know, great in the community, gonna always do the right thing. You know, just like a Cameron Wake. You know, Cameron Wake is a prime example. Just guys like that, man. I mean, just guys who he didn't win the Super Bowl or nothing, but Larry Fitzgerald. You know, guys like that. You know, like just team first guys and somebody who always gonna respect. You know, like he's gonna be here this time. I gotta worry about this and I worry about like he's a team first guy, and you know, and you gotta respect that because I mean, you know, he didn't put the work in. He'd been out there, he'd been busting his ass. So, I mean, just a guy like that. Just guys like that, like Larry Fitzgerald, Cameron Wake, Calais Campbell. Just, you know, you got a bunch of other guys out there, you know, but just guys like that.
Cam Wake, you mentioned him, obviously. He was here a long time, and he came in, you know, I mean, he was a big acquisition at the time because of the way he played at the CFL, but nobody thought he was going to be what he was.
Exactly.
At the time, right?
It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. Again, Cam Wake is a great example.
Right. So what was the one thing? So give me something that you got from Cam that has stuck with you.
I mean, just be humble, man. And you know, when he left, you know, I texted him, sent him a long text. You know, when the thing happened when he went to Tennessee, you know, he always, you know, just keep working. You know, you can be as good as you want to be, but just keep working and never get complacent. You know, and always stay humble. You know, so I kind of keep that in my back pocket. You know, listen to a guy who went to the CFL and now, you know, toured up in the NFL for many years, and hopefully he's going to do the same thing at Tennessee. You know, God bless him. Hope he stays healthy. But, I mean, just a guy like that, man, he's a great example. You know, all those kids who, you know, guys who go to the AFL league that he just had, that they shut down the CFL, and guys who thinking that they're not going to make the NFL. Can't Wake is a great example. A guy was working on a FedEx truck, UPS truck, and now he's a 5-time Pro Bowler, arguably Hall of Famer, you know. So, I mean, that's a great example. I mean, you know, I don't need to say no more. I don't need to say nothing else.
Final thing, you've got 1 sack, right? How well do you remember it? And how many more are we getting this year?
Oh, I don't like to put a number on it, but I mean, it's, you know, I mean, with this defense, you know, with Coach Flo and Coach PG and, you know, Coach Hobb, you know, what we doing, you know, it's gonna be an interesting year. That's all I can tell you. It's gonna be a very interesting year.
Have you studied much of what Coach Flo did in New England? Or, I mean, or is it new once he gets here and it's
just watch the Super Bowl. watch the Super Bowl and tell me what they did to Los Angeles Rams. That's all I'm gonna say. Watch the Super Bowl.